This is Julianna. Julianna, this is Mary.
Good to meet you. Katerina tells me that you're being harassed by an immigration official.
Yes.
What's the official's name?
Robert Bergen.
He's obsessed with her. He calls a dozen times a day.
What's he asking from you?
Every other night he shows up at my apartment. He won't leave until I give him sex.
For free.
For free. And if I object, he say, you want me to open file on you too?
He says he'll have her arrested for soliciting.
And now he say he want to introduce me to important people.
What's that mean?
Government people. People who can throw you out of country or make you citizen.
Do you always meet him at your apartment?
Yes.
Would you be willing to allow us to videotape these meetings?
If it will get him off my back.
All right. Thank you for speaking with me. I'll give you a call tomorrow, see what we can arrange.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
So where does he do most of his talking?
Here on the couch and in the bedroom.
All right. Camera in the bookcase, audio under the chair there. Show me the bedroom. Do you usually have music or the television on? Anything that might interfere with our hearing conversation?
No, not usually.
Camera directly above, audio behind the mirror. How long have you been working for Katerina?
Not long, 2-3 months.
What's your story?
My story. My story has many chapters. What do you want to know?
Everything.
Yes.
The wire's up. We're ready. Just gonna spend some time with Julianna. Make sure that she's comfortable with the situation. Okay.
How are we doing?
Picture's fine. Audio's good.
Zoom in. Closer. This is our immigration guy, Bergen, getting comfortable.
I want you to meet a few friends of mine. Who are they? Just a couple of friends, guys I work with. You'll like them.
You'll have to go through the escort service if you want to book me.
Bedroom.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Then you'll have to pay me more. No! Careful.
That's it.
All right. So that's pretty much useless, aside from identifying Bergen. Talk to Julianna, walk her through it. Tell her she's got to get him to elaborate who these people are she's talking about.
Well, that might have to wait till I actually make a date with her.
All right, fine, send her back in. We need more than this. We need evidence of the allegations of extortion.
I'll have a word.
Thank you. Don't rush her, obviously, but we need results.
We need more specifics on tape.
What exactly?
Excuse me?
I said, what exactly?
The names of people he wants you to meet, his immigration colleagues.
I already asked him, he won't give me names. I can't keep asking without him getting suspicious.
All right, here's what you do. Pay attention. Tell him you want to meet his friends. You need to make the money because you're thinking of leaving Katerina's escort agency.
I don't want to do this anymore. I want...
You're already in the game. You can't back up now.
And what if I do?
You'll get tossed out of the country straight back to Romania.
You're no better than he is.
You should have thought of that before you came to us. Call me if you hear from him again.
What's going on?
Juliana's just getting ready for her date.
All right, let's get this done tonight. We need to identify this guy.
Yes, ma'am.
Catch him in the act, yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, here's the deal. As soon as Juliana gets this guy's pants off, give me the heads up on the radio. I'll go in, grab his wallet, take some pictures of his ID, stick the wallet back and get out. I don't need much time. 60 seconds, in and out.
There's the doorbell. Is that the door?
Okay, remember, pants off, I'm going in.
Paul, I'm a friend of Robert's.
Do you want a drink or something?
That sounds great.
His pants are off. Pants are off.
Copy, time.
57 seconds.
His name's Paulo Gross. He's a local immigration case officer. He introduced himself as a friend of Robert's. I've got all his ID if you need it.
Where's he stationed?
Here in Vancouver. He works out of the downtown immigration HQ.
All right, go pick him up and bring him on down.
Thank you, ma'am.
You ever send any of your escorts into the Bancroft Hotel?
No, not yet. They won't let me in.
Why not?
You haven't made the right connections.
Okay, I'm going to introduce you to their head of security. I want you on standby. If he calls you, I want you to send in Julianna along with the other girls.
All right.
Inspector, I ran some profiles on the Blackmire Group.
Thank you.
They represent various industries: construction, oil and gas, pipeline, shipping, hydro, huge assets. And they're all pretty impressive players, very well connected. And the chairman has an interesting background. He was an assistant director of the Central Intelligence Agency in the early 90s.
We're at the hotel.
We need a relationship here.
I understand. I need you to form a relationship with this man.
I understand.
You want him to fall in love with you. You want to follow him wherever he goes. You want to become his mistress, so you need to hook him with a good story.
I have good story.
Keep it simple, tragic. Convince him you need to be rescued.
Rescue me.
Good evening. Julianna, is it?
Julianna, yes.
Come on in. You like champagne, Julianna?
I love champagne.
Ma'am, Juliana's here. She's had quite an evening.
She's here. What's the story?
The head of the Blackmire Group has invited her to travel with him to Mexico City, but she doesn't have the proper papers.
That was quick. Hello.
Hello?
I understand you've been invited to travel abroad with Mr. Brown?
Yes, but I have no good papers. Can you get me Canadian passport?
Slow down. What's the story? You only met Mr. Brown last night, correct?
Yes.
How the hell did you wrangle an invitation to Mexico City?
Well, Inspector Kiniski told me to appeal to him to form relationship, so I gave him good story.
It must have been. What'd you tell him?
I told him that I was desperate and that this was my first professional date and that I was trained secretary and I was only prostituting until I could get honest job.
And that was it? He went for that?
Well, not right away, but by end of evening he was asking me to travel to Mexico and to be his secretary at the meetings.
What meetings are these?
I'm supposed to be on the flight next week. Can you get me the papers on time?
What sort of meetings?
He is going to another summit meeting in Mexico, and he invited me to travel with him so as to be his secretary.
He's going to Mexico for the same sort of meeting he's having here?
So he says. He has more meetings today about the water. And then tonight he's going to have dinner with the bankers.
And he just freely tells you all this?
Yes, I am his secretary. No. I already have some of his itinerary. From 9 o'clock until noon today he has the meeting at the hotel. And then dinner with someone from the bank to arrange for some money transfers.
You wouldn't happen to know the name of the banker?
Yes, meeting a Mr. Evans. I have a question.
Of course.
If I get money and things from him, I can keep it? No problem for you?
No problem for me.
Okay.
Excuse us a minute, please. Good work so far.
Thank you.
She's got the stuff.
Best I've seen in a long time.
If we give her a passport, we risk her never coming back.
I doubt very much whether Brown will keep her around very long. She'll come back, and with a lot of intel on the Blackmire group.
All right. Go ahead and get her that passport. Call our man in immigration and get it done.
Thank you. Come. We need to take your passport picture.
Thank you. Thank you.
So. Turn around, I've got to tuck this in. It's already on. You don't have to touch a thing. When the meeting's over, go to the washroom, remove the camera, stick it in your purse. All right, done. Now I'm gonna put this on your lapel. There you go. We're gonna drop you off a block from the restaurant. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
How to go with Julianna?
Fantastic. I'm just having a look at it now. What did Reardon have to say?
He signed the deal. He's agreed to provide us with anything we want.
Julianna was perfect. Here we go. They don't get into the nitty-gritty until dessert. That's the Irish banker Evans there. That's the CEO of the Blackmire Group, Brown, on his left.
Transfer monies from my bank in the Bahamas to anywhere in the world with absolute discretion. You don't have to worry about it.
How soon can we get started?
Anytime you can do it now. All we need are your instructions as to where to wire the funds.
We have quite a few government officials, both here in Canada and in the United States. They are all going to need individual accounts. How much traffic do you think you can handle?
As much as you require. I mean, we have subsidiaries around the world. You name it, the Caymans, Europe, the Middle East. We can put the money wherever it needs to be.
There you have it.
Fantastic. Katerina tells me you're threatening to leave her and work for me full time.
Katerina doesn't own me, and neither do you.
You can't be talking to people about our relationship. Not Katerina, no one.
I apologize.
What's this?
That is the agenda for the Blackmire Group's meetings in Mexico. I took it from George Brown's briefcase this afternoon.
This is the kind of thing I'm talking about when you act without consulting us. If you took it from his briefcase, he's gonna discover it's missing. And you risk exposing my entire operation, yeah?
If he finds the briefcase, but he won't. He left it in the taxi.
And now you have George Brown's briefcase because...
I called the taxi company and I go to pick it up. I'm giving it back to him tonight when I see him.
You seeing him again tonight?
In about 15 minutes.
You need the wire van outside of Julianna's immediately.
You should have called and told me you were doing this.
I didn't have the time. I was with George until 1 hour ago.
You spent the day with him.
Yes, and every night this week so far. I'm becoming the expert in George Brown and the Blackmire Group. I could be making living at it, no?
You are doing some very risky things without telling me. And I have serious concerns about that.
You don't want me to tell you what he is doing? You don't want the briefcase?
I want you to inform me of when you see him before you see him. And I want to debrief you at regular intervals. You are working under my direction. Do you understand that?
Well, if I am working for you full-time, then I need to get paid for it. I still owe money to Katarina, and if I can't work for her because I'm working for you, then she needs to get paid. And you need to leave. He's going to be here in 5 minutes.
All right. We're going to talk about all this tomorrow. You're going to call me first thing, yeah?
That is him now, probably.
Is the wire up and running?
It will be.
Hello? Hello, George. Come on up.
In the morning, first thing.
Yeah, go. Go. Take the stairs.
There's not much here, just some small talk. No mention of Blackmire Group at all. Then they get into bed.
Did he mention anything about his briefcase?
He wasn't interested in his briefcase.
Burn me a copy, put it in my office.
Julianna's completely out of hand.
She is.
Very talented, however.
Very clever.
Did you make me a copy of the contents of that briefcase?
I did.
Did you get a chance to look at it?
Uh-huh. Very interesting. We now have a list of all Canadian companies involved with the Blackmire Group, and the donation amounts are expected to funnel to the various lobbyists and politicians, or whoever it is they're piecing off.
Names and amounts?
There you go on top there. It's like a shopping list.
Fantastic.
Julianna's expecting to get her passport today. She's supposed to travel with George Brown to the Blackmire Summit in Mexico.
I don't think it's safe to let her go. She might find the life of a billionaire's mistress hard to resist.
And a few songs written about that.
I think I've got to reel her back in.
I agree.
Have immigration pick her up on something completely unrelated to us.
As you wish.
Tell them to hold her until she misses her flight. When she calls us to help her out, we help her out.
How could we not?
I should be grateful, but too late to travel.
Too late to travel. Yes, ma'am.
Julianna Vecna, immigration. Would you come along with me, please?
Am I being arrested?
Yes, you are. This
Why?
way, please.
Why are you arresting me?
I'm sorry, I don't know the details. Watch your head.
It's Julianna.
I am allowed to talk to my lawyer in private, I think. I am in the immigration jail. They say I am in violation of my visa and they are asking about working for the escort service. Can you help me?
All right, stay calm. Don't mention that we have a relationship with you. I'm gonna have to do some quick work to get you out of there.
I am supposed to be on the plane for Mexico tomorrow morning.
I'm aware. I'm gonna do what I can. Just refuse to answer any more questions. I'll get a lawyer down there to see you.
Okay. Thank you.
Sit tight. She's in immigration lockup, desperate for us to intervene.
All right, let her stew there a while. I'll go see her later.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
All right.
Did immigration tell you why you were picked up?
They said they are investigating Katarina's escort service.
What'd you tell them?
Nothing. I am still waiting on a lawyer.
All right, good.
I am supposed to be traveling tomorrow, and I haven't spoken to George all day. He is going to wonder what happened to me.
I'm not gonna let you go. Unless you sign this. Go ahead, read it.
What is it?
It's your contract to work for me as an agent of CSIS. It's not the same as being a confidential informant, which is what you've been doing so far. As an agent, I will be directing you to do certain things on our behalf, and you may be required to testify in court in future. If you disobey my instructions or conduct any criminal activity, you can be arrested, returned to Canada at any time from any place, and be prosecuted. Just in case you were thinking of disappearing in Mexico, taking up the life of leisure with Mr. Brown.
You will be paying me for traveling with him?
We will.
And I will get passport?
Remember, it can be revoked at any time. Call George Brown. Tell him you've been at the passport office all day, you got your passport, and you'll be back at your apartment in an hour.
Hello, George? I'm sorry I couldn't call. I was at the passport office all day today. You can't believe how long it takes. I will call you when I get home. I love you too.
Very good. Let's go. So, what brings you to this end of the earth? What can I do for you?
We received your report this morning on the Blackmire Group investigations from the FBI. I was hoping to persuade you not to pursue that any further.
I wasn't aware the FBI was sharing with the CIA.
I apologize on their behalf. They should have informed you we were being briefed.
Yeah, that would have been good. Can I ask why you want us to stop?
I can't say any more than we have a parallel investigation underway. We really don't want to risk your operation endangering our own.
What's the nature of your investigation?
Not at liberty to say.
Well, as you probably already know, as the FBI may have informed you, we've got direction from our financial investigations arm to conduct our own investigation.
All right, fair enough. Perhaps you could call them, make them aware of our request.
It's gonna have to wait until tomorrow.
But you could call off any operators you have in the case in the meantime.
I really can't do anything until I speak to someone from financial.
In order to gain access to the materials you shared with the FBI, you've obviously got someone on the case.
I can't tell you how we received that intel.
I understand. Perhaps you could make your operative aware of our concerns. Blackmire has a very sophisticated counter-surveillance program. George Brown is an ex-CIA agent. If you have an operative in there, they will be exposed.
I don't think you have anything to be concerned about. I don't have an operator in any kind of direct exposure.
Good to hear. If you could call me tomorrow after you've spoken to your superiors, I'd appreciate it. You can reach me at that number anytime.
Thank you. I'll be giving you a call in the morning.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Pleasure.
Likewise.
Call Julianna immediately and tell her she's not going on her trip with George Brown tomorrow, will you?
Anything I can do?
Yeah, call the FBI and start screaming. They've been sharing our intel with the CIA. It's Inspector Spaulding. I've just had a visit from the CIA regarding our Blackmire operation, requesting we drop it. Please advise me what course to take.
She's not answering.
Is the wire on Julianna still up? Is Julianna at her place?
She's just leaving with Brown. There they go.
Yes, and that's it.
Shit.
You got everything?
Yes, and that's it.
You just spoke with Mr. Malaby.
Yes, I did. He asked me if we had an operator inside Blackmire. I told him it wasn't my file.
And have you heard from that operator?
Not yet, no. She would have landed in Mexico City late last night.
How long since she last contacted us?
Going on 24 hours?
I don't trust the CIA to keep their nose out of our business.
If you're concerned for her safety, perhaps I should call our liaison in Mexico City and send someone over to the hotel to watch her back if necessary.
Good idea. I'll call Cruikshank at the CIA and tell him that we're backing off of our investigation.
But we are still continuing our operation.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias. Hello?
Julianna?
Yes?
Hang on, Mary needs to talk to you. It's Julianna.
Are you alone?
Yes.
Listen carefully. I want you to tell Mr. Brown that you've got a family emergency back in Vancouver and you've got to return immediately.
What is wrong?
It's a precaution.
Oh my God.
Is he there with you now?
Yes.
When you hang up, tell him your mother's in the hospital in Vancouver and she's dying.
What's wrong?
It's my mother. She is not well.
You've got to return immediately on the next plane available.
Thank you. Please tell her that I'm on my way.
It's okay. So,
Call our liaison in Mexico City. Have them make sure Julianna gets on a plane safely today.
yes, ma'am. Quiero hablar con Juan. Sí, Martin.
Any word on Julianna?
Our liaison in Mexico City went by the hotel. Julianna's already checked out. He apologizes for not getting over there as fast as he could have, but he was in a meeting when we called.
And there was nobody else he could have sent in his place?
Apparently not.
All right, check the airline, see if she's booked on a flight.
I did. She's not on any commercial flight out of Mexico City.
You tried calling her?
No answer. Your man from the CIA is back.
For Christ's sake. Let me know if you hear anything at all.
Yes, ma'am.
There's someone in Julianna's apartment.
I want a street unit to 1941 Georgia. I want video surveillance.
Confirming a request for street unit targeting
What's going on?
41 Georgia.
There's 2 men in apartment 543. I'll tell you when they're leaving. Stay on the line.
Who's this?
No idea. Hang on. This one here looks like the Blackmire security guy.
I think you're right.
He's checking out her story. Shit.
He's searching the bookcase. He's going to find the wire.
No, he's not.
Hello, I cannot answer the phone right now. Please leave a message.
Hello? Anybody home? It's building maintenance. I've got the plumber with me now. It's the only time he's available, so we're gonna come up and fix this thing tonight.
Ready.
two jokers are just leaving. Are you down in front yet?
90 seconds off from closing.
Well, get a bloody move on.
Well, the problem is Reardon is both the strength and the weakness of this. As he goes, so goes the entire thing, at least at the start, until we consult more of our own operators inside.
Yeah, that may not be possible.
What about Julianna?
I'm not sure we should keep her in it. I'm not convinced she can play the long game. If we do, it's doubling the risk.
If we pull her, we lose the advantage of having someone close to Brown.
We'll have to build her backstory a hell of a lot tighter if we do keep her in.
Speak of the devil. Yes? Is there a problem?
Well, the more the merrier. If he turns on one, you got the other.
He's suspicious. What should I do?
She's back. Is he there with you now?
George is on his way up. He is very suspicious of my story about my mother. He wants to come with me to the hospital to see her.
All right. Stay calm. When he comes, I'm going to give you a phone call. You're going to ask him to answer it. And then you're going to ask him to ask who it is. Have you got that?
Yes. Oh, he is here. Come in. It's open. Just give me 2 minutes.
Which hospital is she at?
I forget. I have the number somewhere.
What's the name of the doctor?
I'm sorry. I don't know where I wrote it down. Darling, can you answer that for me, please?
Ask for Miss Vejna.
Hello.
Miss Vejna, please.
Who's calling, please?
St. Joseph's Hospital.
This is St. Joseph's Hospital.
It's a hospital.
She regrets her mother's passed away.
Hello?
This is St. Joseph's. I regret to have to tell you this, but your mother passed away earlier this evening.
Nicely done, Rose. You're catching on. Are we up on Julianna's?
No, Julianna took them out.
What? When did this happen?
Last night sometime. Brown stayed the night, and when he went to the bathroom, she ripped them both out.
Has anybody heard from her since she did this?
I don't believe so.
Julianna took the wire down last night. I'm going over there to see what happened.
Make sure it gets back up today. Have a seat. How'd Brown take the story about your mother?
He is very sad. He never got a chance to meet her.
And how's the romance between the two of you proceeding?
Good, I think. There.
What have you got here?
Blackmire documents for a water deal with Mexico.
Where do you think the relationship with Mr. Brown is heading?
If all goes well, we will be married in the spring.
Why'd you remove the wire from your apartment?
I don't think you want it found by his security men.
What do you know about that? What are they doing?
George told me that he is doing background check on me, so I told him to go ahead. I told him Katarina owns my contract and that he could buy me for 200,000. George wants to talk to Katarina first, and then if he pays her the money, I will be free.
Martin, could you contact Katarina for me, please? We'll have to set this up. This is gonna be a lot harder than you may think. Your story's going to be very carefully scrutinized, not just by Blackmire, but by the press.
Yeah, that is okay. George says he knows how to give me a new background, and he wants to give me the makeover before we get married.
We'll have to find you a new name. Something for the new you. Let me know how you want me to handle your mother's funeral arrangements, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Julianna, where are we?
I'm expecting a call.
We need to decide whether or not she's a liability on this Blackmire operation. She's reckless. She enjoys the game too much.
She does enjoy the game.
Shall we take the risk? We already have Reardon on the inside. Do we need another source?
Having the two of them on the game allows one to confirm the intelligence the other is giving. Are either of them entirely trustworthy? Probably not. Reardon won't tell us everything that's going on, neither will she. But between the two of them, we have a more accurate picture of Blackmire's inner workings.
I want to see her face to face.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mexico. What happened?
I told George that my mother was dying, like you told me to, and he insisted on flying back on the company jet.
Did you travel alone?
No, with us was the Irish banker, you know, Gordon Evans. They spent most of the flight talking, and I pretend to sleep.
Did you overhear those conversations?
Yes, of course.
What did they talk about?
Many things. Yes. North American water rights, the movement of cheap labor from Mexico, how to move the money around from country to country, what problems will be in the future. The banker seemed to know what he was talking about.
And did they end up making any arrangements? Was anything finalized?
I think they agreed to use Mr. Evans' bank in the Bahamas for the business deals. I made the notes, it is all in there.
Anything else we should know about your relationship with George?
Yes, he wants to give me the new history.
And what does that involve?
He is still waiting to buy my contract from Katarina. He is willing to pay up to $250,000. You were going to arrange for that.
I'll let Katarina know.
Yeah. And after that is okay, I will get a new name and get the makeover. Like Cinderella.
Right. Okay, you've done extremely well for us so far, but if Brown saw that notebook, you'd be dead. Martin's gonna give you a phone number to call, and you dictate your notes when you can, yeah?
No problem.
Still a bit concerned about you being exposed. What may happen when he looks into your background, which we know he's already doing. It's gonna be stressful for you.
I do not worry about that. I have a lot of experience in how to lie. If he looks into my background, it's okay. I erase my footsteps.
Did you talk any more about marriage?
I told him no more talk, more action. You get divorced first and then we talk about marriage.
How'd that go over?
He's going to tell his wife this weekend.
We're running a very complicated operation against the Blackmire Group, and there's some very large sums of money involved. So I want to make sure that you understand that your life is at very great risk if you were ever to reveal your relationship with us.
I know how to keep secrets. I make my living keeping my mouth shut.
All right. Good. I'll make sure Katarina's prepared for a call from George. Is there anything else we need to deal with?
Please, can you help me with my mother's funeral? George keeps asking, how do I want to bury my mother? He wants to pay for it.
That's taken care of. You can tell George that you decided to have her cremated and it's been done.
You have a receipt or something for that? He will want to pay for it.
We've got a receipt, the death certificate, and we've got a box of ashes. It's all taken care of. You can tell George that he can buy you a nice urn for your mom. The CIA's here.
Could be interesting. Listen in, will you, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cruikshank from the CIA?
Hello, Rick. How can I help you?
Well, it's this Blackmire Group operation. Keeps throwing us curveballs.
What's the latest?
Do you know this woman?
Don't believe I do. These are taken where?
Here, Vancouver.
What context would I know her in?
She's an escort from Romania. Arrived 2 years ago. Met Mr. Brown at the Blackmire conference a month ago.
What's her name?
One she's using now is Julianna.
What's your concern?
Well, Mr. Brown seems to have fallen in love with her.
Is that creating a complication for you?
No, not at all. It's creating an opportunity. We think she would make a very good confidential informant.
You've approached her.
No, we thought maybe you'd be able to do that for us.
Why me?
Well, she's a recent Canadian citizen. She's one of yours now. And you may be able to offer her certain inducements that we could not.
What sort of inducements would she be looking for?
She may have family she would like to have join her here, something like that.
What's the approach? How do you see it working?
Perhaps she could be picked up on a charge of soliciting, and you could see what she'd be willing to do.
And then we'd hand her off to you.
We'd be handling her, yes.
Can you perhaps tell me now where your operation sits and what the goal is? It may help me to know what you might expect of this informant.
It's the money laundering aspect of Blackmire we're most concerned with. Mr. Brown is putting together a consortium of various international financial institutions, the sole purpose of which is to hide money for his company and his clients. We've been trying to get somebody inside Mr. Brown's inner circle for almost 3 years unsuccessfully. I'm hoping Miss Vezhna might be the one we're looking for.
And you have contact information for Miss Vezhna?
It's all in the file.
All right. I'll see what I can do and let you know.
Thank you. Appreciate the help.
That's what we're here for. Are they playing head games with us?
Not sure what you mean.
Does the CIA already know that Julianna's our agent, and this is their way of trying to steal our control of her?
I suppose that could be what's going on. More likely not, but possible.
Christ. So how do I play this? Do I go along and pretend to recruit Julianna, or do I admit she's already ours?
Never admit anything. Play along. They've been trying to get someone inside Blackmire unsuccessfully for years, and here they see a chance. With Julianna in place, you got yourself a very valuable intel source, one you can barter with. The trick is not to lose her to the CIA.
Right. Okay, so here's what we can do. I'll have you approach Julianna for show, in case they're watching. Picture the idea. And she's gonna say that she insists on being handled by us, and not the CIA. That keeps us in the middle. We can hear any intel Julianna provides first, and we can decide whether to pass it on to the CIA or keep it for ourselves.
That sounds like the way to go.
Okay, let her know what's going on.
Yes, ma'am. Is Julianna at home?
I believe she's sleeping.
Put the wire up.
I guess she's not up to talking to you today.
We'll see about that. I'm sorry, were you sleepy?
I was up all night. I am very tired.
It's important. There's been some new development you need to know about. Sit down. Just had a visit from the CIA. They're running an operation on the Blackmire group.
What is it about?
We don't know, but they've asked us to recruit you as a potential informer.
But I am already working for you.
They don't know that, and we're not about to tell them. What we're going to have to do is stage a couple of meetings with you. In those meetings, we're going to ask you to become an informant. You're going to agree, but you're going to say you'll only speak to one person. That person is going to be me. Do you understand?
I don't want to work for the CIA.
You won't be. You'll continue working for us. You've done an excellent job for us so far, and we want you to continue. But we also don't want to risk offending the elephant.
Do I have choice?
I'm afraid not. No.
What do I need to do?
You're going to go to a restaurant called Blue Tail today at 3. You can have lunch there alone. I'm going to approach you. We're going to have a conversation. The next day, we're going to meet again and have another conversation. I'm going to ask you some questions. I've written them down. You're going to answer them as written. Read it, know it, and flush it. 3 o'clock at the Blue Tail. I've got the meeting with Julianna set for 3 o'clock, and I've got a counter-surveillance team in place. We'll know if the CIA is watching us.
All right, let me know.
The Blue Tail Cafe at 3 o'clock. I want you both there at 2:30. We've got you a table reserved if you need it. If you spot surveillance, I want you to follow them when they leave.
For 2?
That couple that just came in followed Julianna from her apartment.
Here's Martin. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. What is this about?
I'm with the Canadian Intelligence and Security Service.
Yes.
I'd like to speak to you about doing some work for us.
What sort of work is this?
You're working for a Mr. George Brown of the Blackmire Group, is that correct?
Yes.
We're very interested in what Mr. Brown and his colleagues are doing here in Canada. You could provide us with information about that from time to time. Julianna was followed to the meeting. From her apartment to the restaurant and back again.
Good. Tomorrow we'll report to the CIA and tell them we've had our initial contact.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good evening.
You too.
Where were you this afternoon? You were not here this afternoon. Tell me where you were. Don't lie to me. Are you still working for Canada? You are!
Quit you! I quit!
What's wrong?
Julianna's having a meltdown.
Sorry I couldn't take your call. I was in a meeting.
She's upstairs talking to Katerina. Take the back stairs.
How's she doing?
She's a little exhausted. She's in the bedroom.
Thank you.
Good night.
understand you had a fight with George.
Yes.
What's the fight about?
He was accusing me of being a whore.
And he hit you.
Yes.
You need to see a doctor?
Maybe psychiatrist.
I can arrange that.
Maybe just a drink.
Mind if I join you?
No. It is in the cabinet.
You know, this is never an easy sort of thing to do.
I am getting confused about things.
Yeah, it's not uncommon.
Thank you.
What sort of things are you confused about?
I am worried what will happen if George finds out I am spying on him.
Do you like George?
Yes, I am relaxed with him.
It must feel good sometimes.
Yes, but it is confusing.
Are you falling in love with him?
I think sometimes.
It's a fairly common phenomenon in this kind of work. You spend a lot of time with someone. You pretend to like them or love them. The feelings get confusing.
I have not had someone love me in a long time. It is George.
Do you want to get it?
Yes. Hello? It is okay. I am sorry too. Yeah. Bye-bye. I love you too. He is coming over.
Are you gonna be able to continue this?
I think so.
You can't tell him what's going on no matter what. Promise me.
I promise you.
Okay. We'll get together tomorrow, maybe talk some more, okay?
Yes.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you for talking with me.
Anytime. She's cracking.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. Send her to the shrink tomorrow, see what she says.
Good night, ma'am.
Yeah, good night. How'd it go with Julianna last night?
Good. We got some good stuff on the wire.
How's she holding up?
Yeah, pretty good. She must have jumped right back after your little chat. Anyway, she's got brown wrapped around her finger again.
Please,
This is the good stuff right here. It's like he's asking her to take a mob oath. A vow of silence. Omerta.
I have to know that I can trust you. That you can keep a vow of silence about the things you may see or hear. Anything I tell you about Blackmire's top secret. Anything you might overhear or see of the people we meet, you can't talk about with anybody.
Can you tell me why?
This is the bombshell.
We do work for the agency now and then.
What do you say?
We do work for the agency now and then.
We do work for the agency now and then.
She asks him to clarify.
What is this agency?
The Central Intelligence Agency.
Did he just admit Blackmire's a CIA front?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of work?
They just use the company to do things they're not allowed to do. Does that bother you?
No. I find it very romantic.
You do you?
Yes.
Then they go back to shagging for a while.
Blackmire's a front company for the CIA.
You heard it, that's what the man said.
I'll need to talk to the Inspector General about this.
May I have a moment alone, please, ma'am, before you make that call? I hope I'm not out of line here, but I don't believe it's the right decision to tell the Inspector General anything about this.
No, why not?
May I present a hypothetical situation?
Go ahead.
Blackmire is a huge company here in Canada with massive holdings in hydro and other energy projects. If you tell the Inspector General that you think Blackmire is a CIA front company, he'll be obliged to tell the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister will be obliged to object and tell Washington. And then it'll get back to the CIA, and then we'll be told to get lost and lose any opportunity we have to monitor Blackmire.
That's all neither here nor there. I'm obligated to tell the Inspector General.
Well, at some point you might be. But right now, what we know is still simply speculation.
Brown just confessed to Julianna that he's been fronting for the CIA. We have it on the record.
I'm only suggesting that in the long run, the Inspector General may not want to hear that right now.
You're suggesting that we keep it to ourselves.
Well, I'm sure the Inspector General would prefer that we present him with concrete and corroborated intelligence about what it is exactly Blackmire and the CIA are doing up here, rather than report what could be the inflated braggings of a man who is simply trying to impress his lover. But more importantly, ma'am, my personal concern is, if you report that you've discovered a CIA front company, there's no guarantee anybody wants to hear it. As we all know, the whistleblower always pays the price. The messenger is always killed. Nobody wants this sort of revelation that the CIA has bought pieces of Canada coming up in their watch. It's suicide.
People need to know about this.
They do. But there are proper ways. The back channels. You've got to make use of them to protect yourself.
All right, for now I won't inform the Inspector General, but I want Julianna pulled in. I need to know if it's safe to keep her in the game.
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
Thank you, Martin.
Yes, ma'am. I want Julianna picked up ASAP.
Julianna, I'm here to pick you up. Stay where you are. Right? That's the way you want to play? Julianna, get in the car.
No, leave me alone. Fuck off.
Don't do this.
Agent Cruikshank from the CIA.
Yes.
Julianna's freaking out. She's taking her runner.
Grab her.
Yes, ma'am. Police, stay right here. I need a street crew now. I'm on the north end of the Granville Bridge. Subject is a Blonde female, 25 years old, in a short gray trench coat, heading into town. And I need to track a cell phone number.
Did you get an opportunity to speak to Julianna again?
We did, yes.
And? Is she cooperating?
So far, so good, yes.
It's good to hear. We'd like you to arrange a meeting so we could introduce ourselves.
That's gonna be problematic. She's agreed to cooperate, but she's insisting that we handle her.
But she's agreed to cooperate? That's the important thing.
Right. How would you like us to proceed?
Perhaps you could put some specific questions about Blackmire to her for us?
Of course.
Good. You'll let us know when you've made contact.
I will.
Perfect.
Yes.
She gave the address at Brown's hotel to the cab driver. I'm there now.
Do what you have to do. Do not let her meet with Brown. In her state, she could say anything.
Yes.
We've tracked Julianna's cell phone. She's been calling Brown's hotel. The latest call was 2 minutes ago. She's somewhere close.
Thank you. She's close.
Sorry, ma'am. Building maintenance. I've got an emergency in the basement.
Come along quiet. Come along quiet.
Julianna. Check the answering machine.
Ma'am, George Brown just arrived at Julianna's. They're looking for where she might have gone.
Let me know when they leave.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you think you were going?
Where do you think?
Mary's going to be very disappointed in you.
What does she expect me to do? I can't go on lying for every moment of every day.
Why not?
Because I am tired. I can't think.
All right. Why don't you go to sleep for a while? Do you need something to eat?
No, I just need to sleep.
All right. I'll have them bring a bed in for you.
Thank you.
Do you need anything from your purse?
Just my pills.
What kind of pills?
Just for my nerves.
All right. I'll get them sent in.
Thank you.
She's cracking.
A little bit. Perhaps we should send in a shrink.
Shrink might just scare her.
She's exhausted. It would be good to take advantage of that.
Right. George Brown is looking for her. Contact Katerina. You may need to use her.
Yes, ma'am.
George is going to be worried about me.
I'm worried about you, too. I don't think you can continue to work for us in your present condition.
I am feeling fine. I just had a small breakdown. Inspector Kaniski was getting on my nerves. But I am fine now.
Inspector Kaniski was getting on your nerves how?
He is always watching me. I know that is his job, but it was getting on my nerves. All the time to have these secret policeman cameras on me, is that really necessary?
I think for your own security, yes.
I need some privacy. I need some time to be alone. Other than that, I am fine. Just a little tired. It is time to let me breathe.
You think you can continue working for us?
Yes. Have I not proved myself?
Why do you want to continue?
Because you pay me and I don't have to sell myself every night to a different man. I am with one man. It is safer.
You told me last night that you were feeling close to George.
I am close to no man. I am taking care of myself. George gives me gifts. You give me money. I don't want to go back to working for Katerina. I just want to get enough money to go someplace someday and be alone. You don't know how strong I am. I am strong. This is nothing. I have been through war. This is nothing.
If I let you go back to work, will you stick to the rules?
Fine.
You go back to work, but the cameras stay up and you do as we ask. Inspector Kaniski tells you to do something. You do it.
Fine.
All right. Get some more rest, and I'll talk to you later. You heard what Julianna said about you, that you were harassing her?
She responds to intimidation.
She also responds to reward, and it's time to give her a little bit of leeway. She has to feel she has some say-so in the relationship.
I'll lighten up.
Not completely, just a touch.
Yes, ma'am. How long are we keeping her?
As soon as Katerina's ready. Dave.
Hey, I was hoping I'd hear from you today.
I need you to broker a meeting for me.
All right.
George Brown wants to meet Katerina. I want it in a public place.
What's going on?
Katerina's selling Julianna's contract to Brown. Go through his security to arrange it?
All right. Yeah, this is Dave Baker. Got time for a drink?
Had the analysts go over all the Blackmire materials Julianna's given us so far. These are the notes from the Canadian meetings. These are from the Mexico City meetings. Both the Canadian and the Mexican companies involved are numbered companies, but we've determined who they are. These are water contracts between Canada and Mexico.
Thank you. I'm talking to you because you have direct access to the Prime Minister.
Yes?
I'm not sending this up via official CSIS channels because it's premature. I want it to be handled via back channels.
Of course.
I've had a covert operator inside the Blackmire group for some time now. The chairman has admitted to him that Blackmire's a CIA front.
All right.
And I've had the chance to look at some of their international contracts between a Canadian subsidiary and a Mexican subsidiary.
Yes?
These contracts are for bulk water sales between Canada and Mexico.
I don't believe those are quite legal yet, are they?
No. And this is a list of the proposed payments from Blackmire accounts in the Bahamas. The names listed on the right. You may recognize some of them as members of the government.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'll see to it that this reaches the right people.
Thank you. I'd appreciate the anonymity for the present.
Oh, rest assured, this is going to cause quite a stir. But thank you. I believe you've handled this in the right manner.
Hope so.
Your operator, he's reliable, of course.
Yes.
Well, he must have extraordinary access to get these sorts of documents.
He's been at it a long time.
Good. Well, like I say, this should get a reaction. Your operator, he's in for the long term on this, if need be?
Of course, if need be.
All right. Good to know. Have a good evening.
You too.
Mr. Brown would like to see Julianna before he hands over any payment.
Yeah, all right. I got that worked out. I got a table reserved in the bar. You hold the cash. If you said it's all right, it's all right.
Let's try 11 o'clock.
She'll be here, 11 o'clock. We're on.
Thank you. When Brown's satisfied with Katerina's story, he'll hand the money over.
Thank you.
Tell me something. Of the $200,000 he's paying for you, how much will you see?
None.
Katerina gets all that.
She paid that for me. For the original price, then apartments and the clothes and things. But when I pay her off tonight, I am free.
Not quite.
Not quite. But I am getting closer.
Good luck. We won't be talking as often from now on.
No, but sometimes I hope.
You're going to be the one to initiate contact from now on. You choose when you think it's safe and make the call.
Thank you. I will call you more often than you think.
Whenever you want to, for any reason.
Goodbye, Mari.
Good luck.
Good luck.
She's on her way.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's good to finally meet you. I was beginning to think you were a figment of Julianna's mind.
No, I'm flesh and blood.
You want something?
Vodka neat?
2, please.
I'm very happy I could make a match for you and Julianna.
How long since you first met Julianna?
It is not my business to tell you about her. It's only for her. I know very little. I saw a photo, a video, a friend recommended her. That's how it works. It's a simple dating service. It's nothing more.
All right, very good.
I'm very glad we can make a deal. And there she is. Everything is okay?
Yes. Of course, I'd prefer if this were kept confidential.
Of course. I would prefer that too.
I think this concludes our business.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
I think you have a package for me?
I believe I do.
How'd that go?
Very well, I think.
You got it all?
I think this concludes our business.
We got it all.
Thank you. I hear things went well?
Very well. $200,000, I peaked.
I'll see that you're reimbursed.
Yeah, no rush when you have it.
Nicely done.
Don't you watch my side? I'm dangerous, so dangerous. I'm like a slipping razor. Don't you watch my side?
Did you read this crap in the paper recommending we approve bulk water exports to the states and Mexico?
Yes, I did.
I want everything you've got in the Blackmire group so far.
Yes, ma'am.
Any word from Julianna?
She should be checking in sometime this morning.
I'd like to speak with her.
I'll let her know. Any word from the Prime Minister's office on the Blackmire situation?
Nothing so far.
I imagine it's caused a bit of a panic.
I hope so.
I've got Julianna on the line. She says she's off to Ottawa with Brown tomorrow. Here she is.
Are you going to Ottawa on Blackmire business?
Yes, George has meetings with the government people for 2 days.
Is it about the water deals?
Yes, and after Ottawa, we are going to Washington for a week.
And how are you holding up?
Yes, good.
All right, get us the names of everyone George meets with and give us a call.
Your Blackmire brief caught the attention of the Prime Minister's office. He's eager to pursue an investigation into your informant's allegations.
That was quick.
Well, apparently you know how to press the hot button.
Where do we go from here?
Well, before anything else is triggered, I need to speak with your informant to verify his credibility.
I'd like to protect his anonymity. You have the sworn statements, that should be enough.
Under normal circumstances. But your informant alleges that the Blackmire Group is a CIA front that is trying to influence government policy. That's no small matter. I think those type of allegations warrant a credibility check on the source.
That might be a problem for the informant. He hasn't agreed to testify.
I was under the impression that you had a deal in place.
To provide intel, not to testify.
Well, I'll need to speak to him in any case. If I find him credible and there are other sources or evidence that's available for court, we can work something out.
All right. I'll set something up.
You've been doing good work out here for us, Inspector. Keep it up and you'll find yourself in Ottawa.
Thank you. I just met with Mr. Cleary. He says he needs to meet with Julianna to verify her credibility. Can we set up a meeting?
Yes, ma'am. Where would you like this to take place?
Here.
Yes, ma'am.
You disagree?
Respectfully.
Go ahead.
Governments come and go. A long-term informant like Julianna is a rare asset that could serve the country for a very long time.
You don't trust Mr. Cleary will do the right thing here.
I've been working for the government too long to trust them. And this particular government has a lot to lose if it comes out that some of its members are being bribed by the CIA to advocate for the illegal sale of water resources. I imagine Mr. Cleary might be tempted to bury the whole thing.
Yes, he probably will be. But the cat's out of the bag, and I don't think I have any other choice.
No, ma'am. I'll set up the meeting.
Thank you.
I have to be back at the hotel in 2 hours exactly. We are going to dinner. I can't be late.
All right. So I don't know exactly what questions Mr. Cleary's going to ask, but I want you to avoid telling him you have a relationship with George. As far as he's concerned, you have a secretarial position in one of the Blackmire companies. He came across the materials you gave us accidentally. Tell the truth, but avoid telling him you work for George. And don't give any details.
Yes.
If he asks you if you're willing to testify in court, say no.
Am I going to be asked to testify?
Probably, but it's a formality. You have the right to say no. Be firm. Tell him you never agreed to testify and we don't have a formal deal.
Yes.
You're gonna do fine. The informant has asked not to be identified in the interview and that no recordings be made.
Fine.
We'll be in here. They'll be on the other side of the glass. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Cleary is going to ask a few questions.
Hello. Thank you for coming. We appreciate what you're doing for us.
Yes, thank you.
You work for the Blackmire Group in what capacity?
I am secretary.
Can you tell me how these documents, these water deals, came into your possession?
Yes, I was asked by my boss to pick up his briefcase that he left in the taxi. When I opened it to check it was his, I saw the papers.
How long have you been working for the Blackmire Group?
2 years.
When did you come across these documents? How long ago?
3 weeks.
And do you know who these documents that talk about North American Union, who they were prepared for?
Yes, for a conference here in Vancouver.
And your boss was at that meeting here?
Yes,
And where was that held?
at the Bancroft Hotel.
And these other documents?
They were for a meeting in Mexico.
And you were at that meeting too?
No.
You know what these documents are about. You've read them all.
Yes, I was instructed by my handler to read everything.
Do you know the Blackmire CEO, Mr. George Brown?
I met him. I don't know him.
You heard from someone that Blackmire was a CIA front company.
Yes.
What was the source of that?
I can't tell you that.
All right. Are you willing to testify in court how you acquired these documents?
No,
Why is that?
because I think my life would be threatened.
You like this informant?
Yes.
She's been honest with you.
Yes.
Do you think that she could lead us to other witnesses that would provide testimony or evidence?
I think if she were given the time to develop the relationships, if she was allowed to stay at Blackmire long term, I think she'd prove invaluable.
All right. Let me take this back to the Prime Minister's office and Justice and see if they think it's worth pursuing. I find her credible, so I'm going to recommend that we continue along your present course. Keep your informant in place and continue to gather relevant materials.
Thank you.
Again, just let me say that you're doing an excellent job.
Try and get the names of the government officials George meets with, but don't push for it. Just if it comes to you. You're a sleeper now, just gathering intel.
Yes.
Here we go. If you've got any doubts, if you want to back out, now's the time to do it.
I can do it.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. Call me anytime if you need to talk.
Thank you, Mari.
Take care.
Something's wrong. Julianna called. She said she's gonna call again from her apartment when she can talk.
Here she is.
Yes?
Okay, I'm in my apartment now.
Yes, we can see you. Here's Mary.
What's wrong?
I don't know. Go back to George last night. We go to dinner, everything is laugh, good mood. And then we go to bed, everything is okay. Then this morning, he goes out to a meeting, he comes back and he is really mad and quiet and hating me with his eyes. Something is wrong.
Where's George now?
He is outside waiting. He's waiting in the cab to take me to the airport, but I don't think I should go now because something is wrong.
All right, okay. You're gonna need to make an excuse why you can't go on the trip.
No, I already make excuses and he is so angry. No, he is coming up these stairs. He is coming in the building.
Lock the door.
No, he has the keys.
Go down the back stairs. Go.
Oh.
Go all the way down to the basement.
Yes, I am going down.
Are you there? Are you all right?
Brown is here.
She's not here. Check the stairs.
Julianna, it's Martin. Come, quick.
Justice won't play with us. To proceed, they need to have faith in the informant's ability to carry through and testify at trial.
I think you heard what she said last night.
I'm going to want a second chance to persuade her. We can offer her inducements in the witness protection program.
All right, I'll get in touch.
I'm prepared to meet her anywhere at any time.
I'll contact her handler.
Just knock that back. Yes?
I'm gonna need another meeting with the informant.
I want to see her this time.
It's a face-to-face.
I understand.
Right, call me when you make contact.
Sometime today, I hope.
Hard to predict.
I'll be close by. Thank you.
Come, we've got to change houses.
Let's go.
How's she doing?
Pretty rattled.
What happened?
I don't know. Everything was fine. Then George came back from the meeting and was very quiet and very angry. And then he just said that we had to get to the airport.
Do you know who he met with?
No, I asked, what is wrong? He wouldn't say anything. So I said I had forgot my phone in the apartment and could we stop there? So we take the taxi and as I'm going to go up, he takes my passport to keep. And then I know
It is really bad.
Well, we saw him go into your apartment and find the cameras, so I think we can pretty much say you've been exposed.
Yes, he knows.
So you need to make a decision. We need to send you away. Where do you want to go?
Why, I don't want to go.
It's not a choice. Is there a city where you'd like to live for a while?
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Paris.
Why did I know you were going to say that? Okay, let me get that started. You get some rest.
Maybe I said something wrong to make him think I was spying on him.
I don't think it was anything you said or did. Anyway, what's done is done. You get some rest. I'm going to try and get you on a plane tonight.
Thank you.
I made a mess of this whole thing. Told the wrong people.
It's Cleary from Special Investigations. Gonna have to have a good cover story, or it's your head he'll be after.
I think that's pretty much a sure thing, whatever happens.
Governments come and go. So will this.
You think so?
All you need is a good story.
Right.
I'll start the arrangements for Julianna's travel.
Thank you.
Have you spoken with her?
I contacted her right after I saw you. I offered her your deal. She refused.
Where is she now?
I have no idea.
So we have a wild card running around out there somewhere.
Possibly.
Bring her in.
And if I can't find her?
Somebody else will. You've done a good job so far. It'd be a shame if someone else was to get credit for your hard work.
Okay, I'm being followed. Get Julianna out of town.
Yes, ma'am. Let's go.
I got a plate I want you to run for me.
The driver will take you to Seattle. From there, you take a plane to New York. From there to Paris. Bon voyage.
Bon voyage. Thank you.
Hurry.